Okay, we're not 30 minutes late, Nick. We are 10 minutes late because we're always 20 minutes late.
The GameHounds are never late. We always arrive precisely when we mean to.
We'd like to think that. Yeah, that's one was my fault today. Sorry, everyone. I So the girl child wants to go swimming today with her friend, and so I separated out the little fob that gets you into um the swimming pool. It also happens to be the little fob that gets me into the parking garage, and I was halfway here, and I realized, and I separated out and I put it in Chris's car, figuring that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put it there. Do not lose it. She's like, okay. Well, then I got in the car to come here today and forgot to get it out of his car. So I realized, oh, I could, but I could just go without and just kind of let myself in. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna, I'll just go. And I went back and got it. And so that made me late. So sorry.
Not gonna hop your own gate.
I'm not gonna
Like
hop my own gate.
park
No,
on the street. Like
no.
just sit there, wait for someone to come in, and then follow behind them.
Mm-mm. Nope. So let's start the show and then we can review games and movies.
No, okay.
All right. So let's get this show on the road. And Nick has just put his headset down, so for the first time in a long time, he won't be talking over the freaking title music because he's a dick that way.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 820. We are recording this on Sunday, May 24th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. Oh, did I just slur my own name? I'm Edie Sellers, and with me is Nikki Nicola. All right, so let's talk. Do we want to talk movies? We want to talk games? Oh, you are muted.
Start with
There
movies.
you go. Okay. So I should probably make some banners for these movies because I didn't create any banners. So what do you want to know about? Do you want to know about Is God Is? Did I talk about Is God Is?
Yeah, you had mentioned it last week.
All right. Do you want to talk about I Love Boosters?
Okay, yeah.
Or do
I
you want
was
to talk about The Mandalorian and Grogu?
okay. I'm gonna see that next week.
Okay. So which one you want?
Tell me about boosters.
Sorry,
That looked like a real fun time.
Mandalorian and
Uh,
okay, so let me add. I've added my banners. Come on, add that banner. Thank you. All right, I love boosters. Boots Riley. Um, it is a really, really good movie, but it is very psychedelic. If you
okay, I like
like
the
your
sound of all that.
movies very like tight and everything makes sort of sense and you don't have to spend any time thinking about it. It just tells a story from the beginning to the end. This is not your movie. It is okay. Did you ever see Brazil or Baron Munchausen
No,
or Time Bandits or anything by Terry Gilliam?
I've seen 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys. Yeah, it's actually one of the
I've
more
I've also seen
straightforward movies of his.
I've seen Sorry to Bother You, which is this director's previous
Boots
movie.
Riley's. Yeah.
Bruce Riley's previous movie.
Yeah. Okay. If you are familiar with Terry Gilliam films and you like that kind of super surreal, slightly like just out of nowhere, just a wild ride of things that make no sense, like just throw in some sci-fi shit just to forward the story,
Don't touch it.
then don't touch it. It's evil. Yeah, that's from from Time Bandits,
Okay.
then this is your film. It is an absolutely scathing takedown of tech culture, of
Oh,
fashion culture, of capitalism, and it is so fucking wild. Like all of a sudden they throw in animation, like stop motion animation. Apparently there is a chase scene that I will not wreck for you. They created a rather than do it CGI, they actually created a miniature model of the city and filmed it with miniature models,
huh.
claymation style. It is so, so good. If you walk into it and you walk out going, "I have no I hated it. I didn't understand most of what was happening," then I'm sorry, little one. Sometimes your movies are going to confound you. This is a movie that is meant to be an art piece with a very unflinching condemnation of society. And it is so good. It is so good. And one of my favorite bits of it, other than the fashion, which is hilarious and awesome.
That's the thing that immediately stands out if you watch a trailer.
Yeah, yeah. Like you'd own every single piece of those, but you would never wear them because you have nowhere to wear that shit. Like you wish you were the kind of person who could just walk down the street wearing that shit, but oh, it's so good. Um, the use of color, the use of background, and my favorite bit is the use of music. His soundtrack is like you listen to it and you go, "What the fuck is this shit?" And then you realize, oh, this is absolutely intentional. It sounds like this because it's intentionally sounding like this. It is an intentional movie that seems like it is a car wreck, mid wreck, like watching it in slow motion, but you realize that everything is absolutely intentional from the mind of someone who dreams in Technicolor.
Hmm.
It is, but here is my recommendation. I saw it in Redwood City, or as I like to call it, Caucasia. See it in a theater with black people. See it in a theater with black people because they will get the most out of it.
Hmm.
And the stuff that they see in it is not the stuff if you are a white person or not kind of enmeshed in black culture. The stuff that they see, they're going to see things differently in there, and you're going to be able to be clued in on stuff that you wouldn't normally get. Um, I did see it. There were clearly African American people in the back row. There weren't many people in the theater when I saw it because we saw it as a matinee. Um, the day it came out, or sorry, 2 days after it came out. Uh, there were African American people in the back row, and they were laughing their asses off at stuff that it was like, oh, clearly I didn't get that because I'm not from Oakland and I don't understand booster culture. So
Okay, so go see the movie in Oakland, is what you're saying.
go see the movie in Oakland if you can. Go see it at the Grand Lake Theater. Um, but it is if you are open to being taken on a ride by a genius filmmaker who is not making movies who's making movies for to make a statement, not to make a buck. And yes, he's going to make a buck on this, obviously. But he's got his vision and you're just joining along to see it.
Yeah. He
So
also did an Amazon
trust it.
Prime show. I
He did?
forget the name of it, but it was like about a kid who's a giant, basically.
Mhm.
And it's actually filled with a lot of really good practical special effects of how do you make a kid who's like, 8, 9 feet tall fit in with the rest of the world. I forget what it is called.
Yeah, he's very he is not afraid to use practical effects as opposed to CGI.
I'm
Uh,
a Virgo.
what was it?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
see it.
video.
Um, yeah, it is a fun, fun movie, and I sort of want to see it again because I know that there's a lot more in there. The premise is that it follows a group of 3 friends who are boosters, that they steal clothing from high fashion stores to sell it on the street. And, they're they one of them is a fashion designer, loves fashion, just that's her thing, and she has and the movie starts with her after she has been essentially turned down from a competition by that was held by the world's most foremost high fashion, designer, and she got turned down from it. And, like, she submitted and she didn't win. And then it follows them as they are essentially targeting specifically her stores because this particular designer is the world's, like, most foremost fashion designer and, boosting stuff from her store. And I don't think it will it does not it shouldn't it does it's not a spoiler, but it is also a logical conclusion that if you have somebody small that is submitting to a very famous fashion designer, very famous, very successful fashion designer, and then gets turned down, it shouldn't surprise you that w the entry to the competition that she submitted and she didn't win shows up in the designer's fall fashion line. Like, exact. And it escalates from there to something that has nothing to do with that. It
Hmm.
just escalates. That's what I would say the entire movie is just an escalation of ideas. If someone had dropped a lot of acid and you start with that simple premise and then just free associated until you got to something more global, that's where you would go. That's the movie. So I thought it was fantastic. I feel like I don't think it'll change anything, but I think that it is definitely if there is a kill the rich revolution, I Love Boosters is going to be looked back historically as an example of art and social unrest. In fact, the girl child's final in art class is supposed to be a paper on the you know art when art in social movements, the use of art in social movements and social statements and social change. And she's like, I think I'm going to use that movie. I think I'm going to use that movie.
That would make for a way more interesting
Yeah.
essay than like, oh, here's this,
Painting.
painting or book that came out 60 years ago.
Mhm.
No, do modern.
Yeah.
Talking about
And
modern art.
she should. I don't think she will. I don't think she'll have the balls to go off of the syllabus of the art that she was looking at over the year and be able to say, I'm doing it on this because this is what interests me.
I mean,
This
yeah,
I
she
find fascinating.
definitely should. That would be a
She
way to
should.
stand out.
Mhm.
And if the teacher doesn't like that, that's a bad teacher. Fuck that
Right, right,
teacher.
right. But I think she's probably not going to. I think she's gonna stick with painting. You
Stick
know,
with
the
the
painting.
classics.
Sticks with the classics because that's what she was instructed on in the class. Because, I mean, ideally, yeah, a teacher would probably should reward her for actually doing it on something that she's interested in, but that's a big gamble in high school. You know,
Yeah.
uh, grades in high school are life or death, more so than college. Like you get a B on a paper on your final in college, you get a B in your final in your paper in college.
Hmm.
You get a B on a paper in high school, that shit sticks.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think she's going to play it safe, which is a shame because honestly, that's where you get that. This is the time when you want to get to them and start having them think about things critically and
Yes.
apply that. But they are hampered by the fact that if they get a B in that class instead of an A in that class, that will affect their GPA and that will affect their and their college
Yeah.
applications.
And it's
It is
especially
a
sad
much bigger
because
gamble.
the whole point of those type of classes, right? Like art and social movements, you're supposed to take what you learn from that and apply it to the modern world because those social movements are still ongoing.
Yeah.
But by locking everything to the past, it creates this narrative that, like, oh, that social movement was 60 years ago. It ended. Civil rights movement. No, we're done with that. We figured that out. Like,
Mhm.
no, it's all still ongoing. And all
They're
these
supposed
social
to
things from 60 years ago are just as relevant today.
Yeah, they're supposed to be able to apply and synergize what they learn, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every teacher
No.
will reward application and synergization of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway, I love boosters.
Yeah.
Mandalorian and Grogu,
Okay, what social statement is this making?
none. There's no social statement. It's just it
I
is it is the antithesis of I Live Boosters in that it is a continuation of a story. If you've not
but see
seen The Mandalorian,
that's what I've heard. I've heard that the biggest advantage is that it's not a continuation of anything, but the biggest disadvantage is that it's not a continuation of anything. It's
right.
just it's just a movie,
If you've seen The Mandalorian and if you've seen the book of Boba Fett,
which no one should, by the way. No one should watch that show. That is
which
one
one?
of Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, you kind of need to watch the book of Boba Fett if you're going to
No,
watch The Mandalorian.
you need to watch one episode of the Book of Boba Fett because one episode is actually about the Mandalorian and has nothing to do with Boba Fett. But that entire series is like one of it's oh my god, it's one of the worst series I've seen.
It's not that
It's
bad. I've
oh
seen far worse.
oh
I didn't
no,
hate it.
it's
I watched
bad.
the whole thing. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I like the worlds, and this is more world painting mostly. But Mandalorian and Grogu,
Yeah,
you don't need to watch the Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett, the one episode of Book of Boba Fett to understand it, but it will add layers to it because there are characters and backstory that you won't have access to if you don't see it. Doesn't mean that it will change the story at all, but it does add kind of a richness of the pastiche of the story that you understand who the Fett twins are. And
did they get into that in the man? I watched the Mandalorian, and I don't think they ever mentioned
no,
Fett
in
twins.
Book of Boba Fett they do. They feature prominently in the Book of Boba Fett.
Look, I've tried to exercise that movie from my memory.
Yeah.
That show. Well, okay. I did not go and see this when it first came out. I wanted to like check out some reviews. The one review that made me go, okay, I want to see this was from the YouTuber Movie Bob. And he basically said, yo, there's a lot of puppets in this movie. There's a
A lot
lot
of
of
puppets.
real good puppet work. There's a whole extended sequence that's just puppets talking to puppets and just doing puppet shit. And he's like, this goes on for like 20 minutes.
Yes.
And I heard that and I was like, I want to see a special effects movie. I
Yeah.
want to see a movie like that does interesting effects. I don't need it to be I don't need a I think the biggest downside to a lot of Star Wars stuff now is it's all so heavy on the lore. Oh, the lore of it. It's like, no, it's just a movie about a space dude and puppets.
Hmm.
And that made me excited to see it. I want to see some cool puppets.
Um, yes, there are extended scenes of the puppets. Again, those are characters that are introduced in The Mandalorian. So it does help if you understand who they are considerably. But it's not essential. Uh, I also will say, let's see, we're talking about the puppets. Oh crap, I had a thought that I wanted to convey, but
Puppets,
I can't.
special effects.
Oh,
Uh,
do you remember what was the name of the Jim Henson s- uh long form movie about that was set in like there were
the
uh
Dark Crystal.
maybe it was, yeah, I think it was The Dark Crystal. And there were lots of like puppets in a jungle atmosphere.
Yeah, they did a
Yeah,
Netflix show of it.
yeah, yeah. There's long sections of that
Okay,
feel like that.
that sounds like a fun time.
It is a fun note. Oh, here's my recommendation, and this doesn't come from me. This comes from Chris because he saw it twice. He saw it once the day that it came out. The entire company at Sledgehammer walked downstairs and went to Sinopolis because they're in the same
Mm,
building and saw it. So the whole company saw it together. They paid for it, and he
yep.
saw it yesterday with me as 3D. He said,
Mm,
"It's much better in 3D. The chase scenes and the action scenes are much, much better in 3D. So if you can see it in 3D, see it in 3D."
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got one that I got to recommend.
Mhm.
Obsession. Has Chris seen this? Has he
Yeah.
mentioned this? This is one of the single most nerve-shredding intense movies that I have seen in a long time. And based on the you would not expect that based on the premise, because the premise is just a simple a guy, kind of a likable but kind of a overly shy loser guy likes his friend who's his girl, and he's too shy to tell her how he feels. So he buys this little wish making thing and called the One Wish Willow, and he breaks it open and he makes a wish. And he says, "I wish she loved me more than anyone else in the world." And the wish comes true. And she does love him to an unhealthy degree, but there are like little touches of filmmaking that elevate it all. Like when you see kind of this internal struggle in her of like, oh, like she's lost herself. This is no longer her. This is someone else, but she's also still in there. And that leads to like these outbursts at random moments that are really unsettling. And even when she's being all lovey, she's lovey in the way that is like, oh God, like it just makes you want to like crawl into a fetal position and like put up your hands in defense. Uh, and the way it goes, I don't know what's going to happen next, which is one of the best compliments you can give, especially for a horror movie, where you kind of know that something is going to go wrong and you always waiting for it, but then things go wrong. And the guy just kind of is like, well, okay, you were really creepy. Um, can you not be creepy and just like continue to be like a perfect manic pixie dream girlfriend? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's just forget about that creepy shit. Oh, you did something else. Let's just forget about that. Push it to the side. Like, I think it does a good job showing the guy. It gives him enough outs that he doesn't take, that eventually when things escalate, you're like, guy, you had this coming. Like you really had this coming. You can't blame anyone but yourself. And she does such an incredible job just flipping emotions on a dime, from like hysterical to loving to back again, just like flip a switch. Really, really impressive. And like there were a couple scenes where uh she's standing in front of a light source So there's like a light behind her, and that casts her face in shadow. And so, like, as she's talking, she's saying all these nice things, but her face is completely in shadow. And like you're kind of looking, trying to figure out what her expression is. And that's just a really, really clever directorial touch to how to make a simple conversation feel unsettling.
Mhm.
Like this guy was a YouTuber, and I think this is his first feature film. And man, between this, Markiplier, and there were a couple other like YouTuber turned filmmakers. Like I think the whole YouTube industrial machine turning out some really good filmmakers.
Yeah, I did not see it, and I didn't wanna see it because I don't like horror films.
Hmm.
Chris was like he was unimpressed. He said, it's fine."
Oh, I loved it. I walked out of the I'm like in the theater, and I can feel my heart like it's like, oh my God. Like my nerves are just like on the high end.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not my kind of movie at all.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
by the
Mm-mm.
time it ends, you're like, "Whew, I need to take a breath."
Mm-mm. Nope.
Yes. Not for you, but for any horror fans out there, highly recommend Obsession.
Go see Obsession. Okay, so now that we've done all the movies, should
Hmm.
we talk about games? I didn't play anything this week. It's been a rather
I played
busy
a bunch
week.
of yeah, I played a bunch of stuff. But first I will mention that I finished Soros, and I the game plays really well. And I've mentioned this before in previous weeks about how ooh
What?
uh
What's up?
I just got to notice the battery, like I'm using the laptop not plugged in, and boy, it burns through battery.
Yeah. Why would you do that, Nick? What is
Because
wrong
I
with
assumed
you?
it could last 2 hours not plugged
No.
in.
No. No.
Anyways,
No.
okay. I'll
No.
talk about Soros and then I'm gonna go get the plug.
Okay.
Um, but I've mentioned before that it's just a really good feeling game. The action is fast, it feels really good. There's a progression skill tree that means you will keep getting stronger. So enemies that you might have struggled with at the start, you can just kind of play and grind a bit and make yourself stronger to beat a boss that you're having trouble with.
Mhm.
Um, but what I really love about Housemark is the story and how they how they weave this personal tale into the cosmic horror, because there is a whole cosmic horror reality here where there's an alien planet, and there are these constant eclipses that change the planet and invite all sorts of evil gods into the world. And there's a whole story, backstory about the people, different colonization uh, ships landing on the planet. The first people that land, what do they see? The second people that land, what do they see? The third people that land, what do they see? And how that all relates in this larger cosmic horror mythology. But they also tie all that into a really personal story of the main character, and in a really cool way, they equate the eclipse to like domestic violence, where this cosmic horror eclipse is really a metaphor for, you know, one person smothering another, the way like the moon smothers the sun. Darkness, oh, someone that was so bright is having their brightness smothered by this moon. But you take that and you use it as a metaphor for people, and it becomes like a really effective visual to sum up domestic violence. And it has a whole story about that too, between your character and someone that he's searching for on this planet. And the fact that it's able to weave those two very different scoped stories into a single cohesive narrative is really impressive to watch it play out, to kind of realize, oh, this, what at first just seems like a really cool visual of an eclipse, actually has a much deeper meaning in the narrative. And that deeper meaning is like, really, the eclipse is a perfect visual representation of this much smaller scale human story. And so, yeah, the fact that they were able to weave those two very different tales together so effectively is really, really impressive writing. And at the
Yeah,
same time, like, it's just a good action game too. It's such
yeah,
an
it
excellent
looks.
action game.
I was gonna to mention the combat looks so fun.
Oh, it is so good. I after I beat this, I went back to Crimson Desert, and man, going from Pragmata to Soros to Crimson Desert. Pragmata and Crimson Desert move so slow, and Soros moves so fast. It's even
Mhm.
faster than Returnal was, the previous game from the same developer. So there's like a little, like, I really need to reset my thinking because, oh boy, this guy moves. And he
Mhm.
moves faster than you do in a lot of other games.
Okay. Now you finish up talking about that. I have no games to talk about, so go get your charger,
Okay.
and I will entertain the masses. We'll
Okay.
just turn this into an AMA moment, people, because I don't have a game to talk about. I got news in a little bit, but no games. Um, I'll give you an update on the turkeys. They're still sitting in the box freezer. I have nothing there. Thank you for the link for Crimson Desert. Should I start calling you AI Wraith? Would it be offensive for us to call you AI Wraith at this point? Because I was doing the editing of the show for the podcast from last week, and I was trying to pull out some clips so that we could just do them as small clips on YouTube. And the whole AI Wraith had me laughing so hard. Does Fender's latest shot in the foot remind you of Unity? I have no idea. I am not a guitar person, even though I have guitars to sell. In fact, I need to sell the guitar that I bought. Uh, you will have to go. th- Link bitch is preferable to AI. I did encounter, I know that you hate AI, and I will take a small tangent. Nick, now that you're back, I will take a small tangent. We had an event yesterday in Point Richmond for a guy that is running for mayor. And apparently, Chat GPT, not Chat GPT,
Claude?
OpenAI,
Oh.
OpenAI is essentially opening a office in Point Richmond. I did not know this. No, not Point Richmond, but in Richmond. I did not know this. And they were asking, it was open forum, people asking questions. And um, woman asked about, like, open AI is coming here. And, it is a known fact that the presence of AI is, it consumes way more power, way more water, a lot of resources. It degrades everything for us and makes everything more expensive for the people who actually live there. And I leaned over to my friend who's president of the Point Richmond Neighborhood Council. I'm like, is it a data center or is it just offices? And he's like, it's offices. And sh- people were saying, it's just offices, right? It's just workers in offices. You goes, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It is. I have done the research. I know that AI uses way more resources than anything else, and it is terrible for the neighborhood. And I'm like, it's an office. Why would it consume more than anything else that's a tech company if it's just offices? But she would not give up. I've done the research. It's a known fact. And I'm like, oh my God. We have now gone into the other side of the dystopia of like AI is going to change everything and make everything better and it's going to revolutionize. And we're like, hey, it's going to be a lot of it. It could be an extinction level event if you create a fully, a fully generative AI. And then there's now the other side that if it says AI on it, it's from the devil.
You know
It's like,
what? I don't have a
no,
problem with this.
no, no,
I don't have a problem with this.
no,
We can
no, and you should.
we can make misinformation work for good for once.
No, you cannot. That's the problem, Nick. That is the same thinking that says AI is going to be fantastic for everybody. When
No, it's not.
you
It's a very
are
practical
when you
matter
are
of
whipping people into an irrational fear of something, that has just as much of a chance of backfiring on you as creating an AI that's going to quote unquote help you. But will it? You the problem with this society, and I'm speaking mostly of the United States, is that people demonize one side or the other. That if you're going to pick one thing that is destroying this world is the demonization or the angelification of things. You can't, you've got to look at facts. And if you are just going to demonize something because you don't like it, that is just as dangerous as
yes,
making something the savior of the world.
but
No.
people are stupid. And if we can get stupid to work for us,
No. That is a road to ruin. That is a
possibly.
road to ruin. You
But you
want
know what?
people to
It's a
be
road to
informed.
yeah, but see, that's
Nick,
yes,
that's
yes,
exactly
yes. Well, we would love people to be informed. People aren't going to be informed. Like, let's be realistic. They ain't going to be informed. Like, there's like always 30% of the population that are just fucking morons. You've got that bell curve. The bottom of the bell curve is just as like a big a voting group has the top of the bell curve. And the thing is, the bottom of the bell curve, probably the louder group. And
that is
that
exactly
bottom bell curve will always exist.
which makes you absolutely no different than the pro AI all the time. This is the best thing. It makes you no different than the rah USA, make America great again, and let's shoot down. Let's deport everybody with brown skin. If you are relying upon keeping people ignorant so that you can facilitate your own personal point, you're wrong. You're evil. That's
It's not
evil. That is evil.
it's not relying on them being stupid. Ideally, they wouldn't be stupid, but it's an acknowledgement that will always exist. Some people you cannot educate. And at the very least, you can point their ignorant ire towards AI is a better target for ignorant ire than black people or immigrants. Like, if you can point that ignorant ire towards something constructive, there's a net positive for society.
No, you're just a demon by another name. You're just a different kind of demon. You're just a different kind of evil.
I guess
Yeah.
so, but you know what?
Nothing we will
If that's what
all
it takes to destroy Skynet,
no. I here's the thing is that this person who is like motivated for this is being whipped up by people in our local government who are kind of fucking evil. IMHO.
and like, okay, that's
Irrational
something.
irrational fear is never is very, very useful for people who want to manipulate
Oh, yeah,
society.
that is true.
Only to manipulate society. It doesn't move society forward. It is not good for the general of society. It is only manipulating society to do their bidding, to get what they want. That is evil.
In that case, that's when you have to target those politicians that are doing the manipulation. Who are they?
So that you can be the ones who are manipulating?
No, so that you can get them out and supposedly get someone better in.
If you're having to use manipulation to get people to get yourself to be heard,
No,
you are never going to stop using manipulation.
I'm saying you said like, oh, there are local politicians that are whipping people up into a frenzy. They need to leave. Get them out.
But you're saying we love the idea of whipping people into the frenzy because they're doing what we want.
Oh,
They're
that's
doing something we believe is good, that I believe is good.
that's what I would do. But if
Yeah.
you
Well,
don't
you're
want that,
also evil.
then you
I
have
don't
to
know
get
about
those
you.
people out. You have to get those people out. Name his name.
Yeah.
Who's the guy whipping people up? Who should we
I'm
vote
not.
out?
No.
Why?
It's not. It's because I. Uh, it is
Get
nobody here.
political.
Nobody here. No, we have always stayed away from politics as much as possible.
Yes, we remember GameHounds is a facts first podcast.
Facts first podcast. Yes, we believe
Facts
in facts
first,
first.
apolitical podcast.
When we have a tin hat conspiracy theory, we actually declare it as tin hat conspiracy and realize that we are being stupid, but we'll still voice it. Yeah, I don't want to get into local politics because probably nobody here is listening to local politics, and I don't want to I don't want to make enemies because they're very powerful people. But that being said, who can actually hurt me and affect me personally. That being said, I don't like seeing people being whipped, being manipulated by irrational fears. And when you're actually speaking logical sense to them of like, um, it's an office building full of office workers. How is that different than, like a nonprofit that's making a non an app? It's not this. Use your brain. This doesn't use any more or less resources than anything else in either somebody's like, well, it's a robotics, they're going to be robotics manufacturing. It's like, and how is that difference if they were making cars or any other manufacturing? You got to turn on your brain.
So
How?
yes,
And
but
if
I
I'm
would
wrong,
also
explain to
say
me and don't just say, I've done research, I know. Then show me, tell me what your proof is of how this is different than any other office use.
so I would also say the reason that I'm not sympathetic to the backlash or like
Mhm.
the frenzy created anti-AI. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, take it. Because a lot of that frenzy was created by the people promoting AI. Sam
Yeah.
Altman, Dario Esmandi. Remember, these CEOs, they've spent the past 2 to 3 years going, boy, AI is going to fuck things up for people. Boy, it's going to cause such mass layoffs. God, AI is going to fuck you over. Give me money. AI is
Mhm.
going to fuck you up. And guess what? I'm going to get rich fucking you. And now there's a backlash.
Right.
Like
Also recognize that
who? Like
creating a frenzied an element, a very loud element of irrational frenzy, frothing at the mouth, peasants with pitchforks and torches only allows them to be able to say, see, this is just stupid people. You don't have to listen to them. We're the rational ones because look at over there. Look at them
except that
foaming at the mouth.
except
And it's
that it's
like,
not
no,
doing that. Except that it's not because the backlash is big enough that even if you have that population, like I said, the loud bottom 30%, there's a middle 30% that
right.
is less loud but has just a bigger backlash.
But we become
Because
easier to
because
dismiss because the frenzied roaming at the mouth.
but it's
I,
not. They're not easy to dismiss because
yes, they are.
there are stories about all these CEOs going like, man, this backlash. Oh, these people, they're just like, they don't understand AI. There is like a measurable, um, like the class of people pushing AI are measurably upset by the backlash. They're measurably confused at like, why aren't more people liking AI? Like, it's not, that backlash is not just confined to people that can be dismissed. It is something that they are feeling and that they are like trying to figure out a way around, but they have not been able to figure out a way around it because, like I said, they spent the past 2 years demonizing AI, even as they try to sell it to your boss. So all of this backlash, this is just the natural result of their poor salesmanship.
Yes, but also you're talking about the extremes. Now let's talk about the big center section who actually will determine where we go.
Yeah, I don't think any of them really
All
like AI
I
either.
know, all I know is there was a woman in a room full of people asking a very good question. And when she was like, this is offices, and asked, and her answer, because she was foaming at the mouth, she didn't convince anyone in that room. In fact, she drove a lot of those people to like dismiss her. So that now everyone that sees somebody going, this is a bad idea, is going to see her, is going to see the foaming at the mouth, irrational. We dismissed her. We dismissed her. In fact, she ended up getting out and leaving because she was so angry because no one was listening to her. And no one should have listened to her because she was
So then
foaming at the mouth. But
did you vote
here's
for The Office?
what do you mean? Oh, it wasn't a vote. It was just a
Okay.
discussion. But
But
I
like,
will tell you that there was a room full of people who have now OpenAI moving into the neighborhood, and they are going to more easily dismiss anyone saying, "Hey, this might be a problem." I don't know if it's a problem. For right now, at least my initial thoughts are it's probably not going to be a problem for the reason she says. It may be a
no, but it
problem
will
for
be a
other
problem
reasons.
for other reasons. No, that's like the start of gentrification. Also, when OpenAI eventually implodes, you're going to be left with a lot of empty office buildings. So, still not good. And honestly, I'd vote against it just because fuck OpenAI.
Right, right, and that's a problem. Anyway, how did we
But
get
it's
off on
also
this
but it's
tangent?
also
Talk about
not
a
a
game.
problem.
Talk about your game. Talk about your fucking
Ah,
game, Nick. We're not going to agree on this. That
no, I know that you're an AI
I think that hit.
booster. I know
No,
you love it.
I am anti-hysteria. I am anti turning off your brain and just reacting for knee jerk because you hear a buzzword. You hear the buzzword, it's bad.
Yes.
And
And
I'm not
I
talking
am
about the stuff that's obviously evil. I'm stuff about the stuff that is now jargony evil. And at
and
this point, AI has
I'm
turned into slightly jargony evil. And I
and
wanted to
I'm
bring back to an actual conversation about facts and reality. But
and I'm at the point after reading enough facts and reality, Edie, you sweet summer child. Facts and reality don't matter. But look at the world. Look at the politics. Look at the government. Facts and reality do not matter to the stock market. And so I am officially in pro burn it all down camp because
yeah,
if facts and reality don't matter, let's get those fucking pitchforks, like AC Ray says.
yeah. All right.
But
Moving
yes,
on.
moving
Games.
on. You know what I did play? I played a really fun, really cute game called Mini Shoot Adventures.
Hmm.
This is what I played over when I was in Florida instead of playing Windrose. Uh, this game, the moment you pick it up, it feels really good. It is a top-down Zelda-like bullet hell adventure game. And so what that all means is it's structured like a Zelda game where you've got like this big open world that you explore from the top down, but you're in this really cute ship that controls with just the control stick. So you move with the left control stick and you shoot with the right control stick. Typical dual stick shooter controls, but it feels really good. And very, very quickly, you start getting upgrades. You start leveling up your ship. You start getting better guns. You start encountering enemies with very specific shot patterns that you kind of have to learn what those shot patterns are in order to dodge them. The more you explore the world, the more you realize how intricately connected everything is. In this video right now, the guy is looking at this crystal surrounded by walls. It's like, well, how do I get there? There's a way to do that. There's a different entrance to this cave that will land you on that crystal. And so after this, you leave the cave, you go explore the overworld to try to find that other entrance, and you will find it because the world is way more connected than it initially seems. This is an interesting game because it's got a pretty big overworld, but there's almost no fast travel. The only fast travel that exists is you can teleport back to your kind of hub city where you can level up your weapons. But you can't fast travel to any other location. You can only fast travel back to that hub. But that's okay because as you go through the game, your movement abilities level up, and just the act of moving through the world is a lot of fun. You start finding shortcuts so that places that once were difficult to go through, you can now get through in seconds instead of 3 seconds instead of 30 seconds, and that's fun. And it just has a pitch perfectly paced upgrade path and development path. The exploration is really satisfying. I had played Windrose for like 90 minutes and I thought, oh my God, it's only 90 minutes? It feels like 3 hours. I played this game for like 2 hours and I thought it was 30 minutes because time just kind of melts away. It's like, oh man, what's over here? I want to explore this. Oh, there's a cave. Let me explore the cave. Oh, what's in here? Let me see this. What's in here? Let me see this. All the time, your weapons are getting bigger. It has some really awesome boss fights that really take advantage of the bullet hell structure, where it will spit out an arc of bullets that have a very clear path in the center. And so what you're meant to do is strafe around the enemy inside this little tunnel of bullets. And it's very designed specifically to have you like weave in and out of this tunnel. And when you can do that successfully, it just feels really fucking good. Like everything about this game is just like game design 101 to perfection. Just like I said, the upgrade path, the controls, the enemy design, the encounter design, all of it is just like it's very simple and basic, but it's executed so well that it becomes like a genuinely unusually good time. It feels great for something that, should feel small, but it's like, oh man, I wish a lot of other big budget games felt this good. Yeah, AC Wraith says Mini Shoot Adventures was one of the few games that I played during a Steam Next Fest and immediately added to my wish list ages ago. I'd own it already, but I couldn't stop watching Let's Play videos, and the playthrough is too fresh in my mind at the moment. Yeah, this game came out on PC quite a while ago, but it just came out on Switch 2 recently, and so when it did, it went on sale on Steam, and that's when I picked it up finally because I'd heard so many good things about it. And yeah, it's a perfect playing game. It is a perfect vacation game. Sitting in the Florida heat, just playing this outside with a fan on is like, this is a good fucking time.
Oh, nice. All right, so it's I think that this would be a really, really good thing on the Steam Deck. I mean, I'm kind of even though I'm not a big fan of bullet hells, this looks like a perfect Steam Deck game. Whereas the game that I am playing on Steam Deck right now, which is Windrose, is not the perfect Steam Deck game, but it is most convenient to me to be able to play it.
Yeah, this is the quintessential handheld game.
Yeah. Yeah, looks fun.
Oh, it is.
Have you finished it or you?
Oh yeah, I finished it. I almost 100%ed it.
Oh, And how long did that take?
Oh, I don't know, like 15 hours maybe.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Hey,
After you
when I picked
is
it up,
there any replayability on it?
there are difficulty levels. I played on normal. You could replay it on hard, and I've heard that hard definitely does get hard.
Mhm.
And I'm opening Steam.
He says it is Steam Deck verified, AC Wraith said.
Yeah, that would make sense. It was funny. Remap did an interview with the developer, and they were talking about difficulties porting it to Switch, in
Mhm.
that because it's an open world, they load the whole world at once. But that would break the Switch too. So they had to figure out a way to, like, okay, we need to load whatever section you're in, and then like progressively load the world around you. We can't load it all at once. Just fun development details.
That's kinda cool.
Okay. Library.
What are you looking up?
Mini shoot
Why?
to see how long. 12 hours.
Oh, okay.
12.3 hours.
It's not so bad.
No, like I said, it's a perfect length.
And all right. So any other games that you played?
That's all for now. I gotta save some games for next week to continue with my one new game a week New Year's resolution.
Okay, good for you.
So yeah,
I broke mine this week because I didn't play anything new, but it's been a very
yeah.
busy
No,
week.
but I thought your resolution was to always play the news music before the news.
Oh, well, then that I can absolutely do. So,
Speaking of which,
speaking of which, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, music commentary of the week of gaming with Gamer Edie and Nikki Nicola. And our first item is I will let you do the first item because I need to use the bathroom. So you go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
okay, let's talk about Subnautica. Let's start with some good news. Last week we talked about how Subnautica 2 sold 2 million copies in like a couple days. Well, they have now officially passed 4 million copies sold within 1 week, which is just like an absolutely mind-boggling number. Uh, there's been like some complaints because it is an early access game, and I guess with all those players come requests, come balance changes. One of the things that people have been talking about is the aggressiveness of the fish, and that you don't have a knife, so you can't actively fight the fish. You can't actively kill them. And the developers have stated they don't ever want to give you that ability because the point of the game is to exist within nature, not to dominate it, which I really respect. And I think is a really good way to distinguish Subnautica from a lot of the other survival games. Uh, but they have said that they're going to update the game to lessen the aggressiveness of some of the fish because apparently they can be very aggressive. And if you can't fight back, that makes some things difficult. But despite those, the game has managed to sell 4 million copies in 1 week, which is on numbers that a AAA game would kill for. Just as reference, like this is something that EA would love to see. If like the next Star Wars game, if Star Wars Racer sells 4 million copies in 1 week, Lucas Arts or whoever owns it will like be popping the champagne bottles. That is a wonderful number for any game.
Yeah, that's GTA numbers. Not quite GTA numbers, but
No, GTA numbers. GTA will like quadruple that number in 1
yeah,
week.
true. But it's close enough that yeah, like you said, anybody would be thrilled about. Yeah, it looks like that $250 million is on
Oh
its
yeah,
way easily.
just write the check now.
Just write the check now and cancel your subscription to ChatGPT.
I mean, considering the advice it gave, right? That advice
Yeah.
really didn't work out.
It did not. It absolutely did not. My first item, let's see, what do I want to talk about in my first item? I had like a bunch of them. Um, let's do Okay, let's actually move on to what was sort of, I want to say, the big news of the week, but not. I mean, there's a lot of news. I would say it was no triple A news, but there is definitely some double A news.
Okay.
The one of the big double
Oh,
A
I
news.
forgot that news story.
Which one?
Bungie.
Yeah, Bungie.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's kind of big. Bungie is officially announced that it is moving on from Destiny 2. They said on Thursday that they're going to be releasing their last major update on June 9th. And they're going to now, quote unquote, turn towards a new beginning for Bungie. What that new beginning is, we have no idea, but it's not going to be Destiny. Now, remember they did just release Marathon. I don't know if Marathon is that new change either, because Marathon has been wildly successful. I wouldn't call it a wildly successful. I don't know if they're going to go, lean into it.
Well, they kind of have to, because the inside information is that Destiny 3 is not in the works,
No.
that they don't have any other game lined up, that it's kind of marathon or bust.
Well, maybe that's
So
what it is. It is leaving that.
this is like going back and like picking inside information out of my memory. Bungie was working on a couple of internal projects, and then a couple got canceled, but one of them was popular enough that Sony took that and kind of spun that game out into its own development game. So that game is no longer being developed by Bungie, even though it originated in Bungie. But because Sony took that and it's now being developed by another team, I don't know if all of the people who were working on Destiny can move over to that. Because with this announcement, obviously came, hey, there's going to be a lot of layoffs at Bungie.
Yeah, there really is.
And that apparently no one at Bungie knew that this was the end of Destiny 2 until the announcement came.
I'm still listening. I just had to step away for a second.
Okay. They all learned at the same time as everyone else that Destiny 2 was ending.
Yeah, that's what kind of sucks, is that they would not give a heads up to the people that are actually working on Destiny, which is not really a nice thing to do. But by the same token, I kind of understand why they wouldn't be doing something like that, in that once you make that announcement out to the masses, it's going to get leaked.
Yeah, well, not just that, but then that puts you in a meta situation where Meta has said, we're going to lay off 10,000 people next month.
Right.
We're not going to tell you who, and we're not going to tell you what the criteria is, but hey, you just have to live with this guillotine over your head for the next 30 days.
Yeah.
And that's also really fucked up.
Right. So, and I could, I would imagine there's probably some people who didn't know, but there were also a lot of people who did know, but were told by their supervisors by word of mouth, like, hey, just so you know, you should think about winding this up. And I did not realize this, that Destiny 2 launched 9 years ago. They've been supporting this game and making money off of this game for 9 years.
I don't think they have been making money off of it. And I think that's why Bungie is in such a problem, that
true.
When Sony bought Sony in the last couple of financial statements have had to take a write down on Destiny because they paid like $3.5 billion for it, and it has not brought in that much money. But a lot of the leaked discussions from that kind of said that Bungie was a really poorly run studio. And that I remember specifically one moment when I was coming home from work, walking down my hallway, listening to a podcast of people talking about how if Destiny 2 can't make the live service work, what hope does anyone else have?
Right.
And so I don't think Destiny has really it's been successful enough to keep Bungie going, but like not really successful enough to prop up the company, which is why I think they sold to Sony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, the ultimately, I think that Destiny, it's time to move on. It's time to move on.
It is. And you
After
know
9
what?
years, but I don't see them doing, and you're probably right that they're going to just stick with
I mean, they
Marathon.
don't have any other option. And they have talked about the roadmap for Marathon includes a lot of PvE content. So they're going to expand Marathon into more than a multiplayer game.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to add in a full campaign, which I kind of wish they did. And it just boggles my mind that Sony bought the maker of Halo and did not force them to make a Halo
Halo.
equivalent for PlayStation. Like,
Right.
just make Halo with the serial numbers sanded off.
Right.
Like, that's all you fucking... Marathon could have been that. Just put a single player campaign in Marathon to, like, have your version of Halo.
Mhm.
And the fact that they didn't do that, the fact that Bungie didn't do that Sony didn't force them to do that, it's just like a failure on every management level.
Mhm. Now, about this final update that is going to happen on June 9th, Bungie didn't have much details as far as what it's going to be. They'll share more details about the changes at a later date. But after that, the weekly blog entries will, quote, be entering a form of hibernation as well. You'll be the first. When it has news about Destiny, you'll be the first to know. But for right now, it's essentially being mothballed. Let's see. They did say that, quote, many changes in this final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. So they're not shutting down Destiny 2. They're just not going to be
Yeah, they're not updating it. It will still
updating
be
it anymore.
playable.
Yeah. For at least a
Except
little while.
except that when I say playable, because again, I think Bungie kind of fucked up Destiny 2 every step of the way, because if you play Destiny 2 now, if you buy Destiny 2 on a disc and you
Mhm.
put it into your console and you don't update the game, you'll play a version of Destiny 2 that literally no longer exists.
Right.
If you download Destiny 2, you start a completely different game, because so much of that old content was vaulted, where they basically took it offline. So there's a whole Destiny 2 campaign that is completely unplayable.
Mhm.
And like, how do you stop updating your game and you don't just bring that content back? Like, if they
Mhm.
wanted some sort of goodwill, they would bring that content back and make all of Destiny 2 playable. But the
Right.
fact that they can't do that, I feel like speaks to some really deep-seated structural issue with how Destiny 2 is designed and organized and implemented and developed, that I feel like Destiny 2 came out like before the industry had kind of figured out live service games.
Mhm.
And I think you really see that in the way that that game is held together with duct tape and prayer.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I'm seeing a post from Jason Schreier on Blue Sky that basically they didn't start working on Destiny 3 after the final shape, which was the final DLC for Destiny 2, because basically it would cost too much money.
mhm. Yeah, that kinda sucks. Um, what is your next item?
My next item. Well, let's get into some PlayStation news since we're talking about Bungie. Let's continue with the PlayStation stuff. Hey, it's 2026. The economy is terrible. You know what that means?
Mm.
Prices are going up because of ongoing market conditions. So because of ongoing market conditions,
Mhm.
the price of PlayStation Plus tiers is going up. And the way that Sony announced this is particularly frustrating because they originally announced a couple days ago that, hey, the price of PS Plus Essential, which is the lowest tier, is going to
Mhm.
go up by $1 a month for new subscribers. And the way the language was written, it was something along the lines of prices will increase starting at $1 a month. And it was that starting at word that kind of got a lot of people thinking, what's going on?
Yeah.
But they announced only PS Plus Essential prices were going up. Come, I believe, the 20th, when those prices went into effect, it was revealed that the prices of all 3 tiers were going up.
Okay.
And again, they're going up by like $1 a month for monthly subscribers. So if you're on a yearly subscription, your price is still the same, and it's only for new subscribers. So if you subscribe monthly and you have an ongoing subscription, that subscription will remain at the old price. It won't go up $1 a month, but obviously that will change in time. This is mainly just the fact that all price increases suck, and the way that they announced it by announcing 1 tier and then raising it on 3 tiers just feels underhanded, like just basic PR. That's a bad move. You
Mhm.
don't want to surprise people with more costs.
Right.
So it's a bad situation, but Sony fumbled the ball even in a bad situation. They fumbled the fumble.
I I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that prices are going up, but I think that this is a
Ongoing market conditions.
right. The language is not great. But on top of that, they're raising prices at a time when Xbox made the announcement. Asha Sharma made the announcement, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? That
I don't remember.
Xbox Live, their Xbox subscription service, the price is going down. Now, it's still too expensive, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, the Game Pass was.
The Game Pass is going down, but PlayStation is raising its prices. I think that that action demonstrates an element of hubris that, in a way, almost that it's a bit of a flex, that while Xbox is trying to reduce its prices in order to become more relevant, PlayStation's like, we're so relevant, we're gonna react to your price drop by increasing our prices because we know you're not gonna win no matter what you do. We could raise prices and still beat you.
I mean, especially now, like, yes,
Mhm.
there's absolutely nothing that Xbox or Microsoft can do to have the Xbox Series X outsell the PS5. This generation is a wash. Like, don't even try. They could lower the price of the Xbox Series X to be like, hey, look, we understand price conscious consumers, but no one would buy the box anyways because no one bought the box when it was originally that price.
Mm-mm.
But this
Now,
does
here's where this flex may backfire on them. Is that all of this pissing back and forth about subscription tier prices becomes absolutely moot once Valve drops the Steam machine. Once that becomes available, all of this is going to be an absolute Achilles heel. It is going to be the target that they have placed on their own forehead and said, shoot here. That I don't, if the Steam machine was in the market right now, this wouldn't have happened. This couldn't have happened. And
Oh, no, I don't believe that.
it
I
makes it,
absolutely believe that it could have happened.
Right, but I'm inside my head giggling because I know that PlayStation and Sony have just walked into a trap set by themselves that is going to be sprung by Valve when they finally get the chips to be able to release, and they are going to get the chips to release. The only other thing that makes me suspect, because I am a tin this is an example, this is a tin hat conspiracy theory, that PlayStation has jacked the market for chips such that they have such confidence that
PlayStation
they know
has?
that yes, that PlayStation has bogarted all of the chips to keep the Steam machine from coming out so
Oh.
much that they can raise prices with impunity, knowing that there's no way that the Steam machine can come out in the next few months because they have all the chips already. It's their way of saying,
Yeah.
"Who's gonna stop me? Valve? Oh, I don't think so, dear."
I don't know. Let's also remember. It's important to remember all of this. Steam is really important for us.
Mhm.
The Steam Deck, like I believe the PSP has outsold the Steam Deck. The Steam
Yeah.
Deck is a niche product. It
Yeah.
is a niche ass product for hardcore gamers.
Yeah.
Um, and the Steam machine is only being sold through Valve storefront.
Mhm.
So like the measure of success for a PlayStation is not the same as a measure of success for a Steam machine. And I think
Mhm.
that's important to remember going forward when all these machines come out. Valve is going to look at, we sold 2 million copies. We're really thrilled at that number. Whereas if PlayStation 6 comes out and it sells 2 million copies, Sony's fucked.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like there are very different economies of scale for both of these companies, and so I would understand Sony going, we're not really scared of Valve. They're
Mhm.
not a threat, at least not yet. If the Steam machine comes out and all of a sudden it sells 12 million or
Mhm.
20 million, then all of a sudden Sony's going to be sitting up straight and realizing that we have to make some changes.
Right.
And who knows what the fuck Xbox is doing?
Yeah, true. Um,
Yeah, AC Ray says, I don't think Valve's production will be anywhere near the big console makers. Yeah, they just
no,
don't
and they
have, they just can't produce as many
no.
consoles.
Nobody can produce as many consoles as that, but still.
He says, Edie didn't just join me on PC. She drank the Kool-Aid, resurrected with a cult ritual, and is out for blood.
That's not true. That's not true. Here's the thing. That is actually a semantic argument. I've never been anti-PC. I have been anti-computer because I don't want to sit at my desk and play a computer game.
Yes, I agree.
PC didn't win over me. I won over PC because now it is a console. I'm still a console player. I don't care if it runs on squirrels and hamsters running on a wheel. I do not care what makes that platform work. I want to sit on my couch and watch it play it on my TV. That makes me a console player. If it's a PC that's running it, so be it. But I want the convenience of going, and it turns on and I play. That I don't have to get
Yeah.
my fat ass up and change the channel or play around or make this thing work with that thing or unplug this or plug that in or, whatever. I just want to go and sit down and go beep and it starts.
Now, question. Can I catch my own squirrels, or do I have to buy Valve-trained squirrels to
Valve
power the
trained
machine?
squirrels. That's Valve
Oh,
trained squirrels. Yeah.
damn.
Personally handled and trained by Gabe Newell.
Oh, okay,
Now,
okay.
AC Ray says you could have plugged your computer into my TV. Everything is a monitor. Could I? Could I really? Could I plug my computer that I have right now into my TV and go sit down after a long day and go, and have it start playing? No.
Yeah. No, you need what you would need some sort of mouse interface. Maybe if you had your computer set up to launch into big picture mode, you could
Right.
get that working, but
And
then
then
you
I'd
would
have to use a mouse to make it start Valve so that I could play the
no, you could
game.
have
And
you can have your computer boot into big picture mode. And then you would only need a controller, but then that computer becomes your gaming device and you can't use it for anything else.
right. I don't have multiple computers, nor do I want multiple computers because computers were not meant to be used as consoles.
I agree with that.
Computers were not meant to be used, to be honest. Computers were not meant to be used as game machines. They're meant to be computers. Now, they do play games, but that's not their intention. They're meant to be things that you do work on. What that work might be doesn't really matter. But they're meant to run Windows and be used as a device for Office,
I mean, I guess
ultimately.
really what this all comes down to is it's less about computers and more about Windows.
Yeah.
Windows
Yeah.
is meant for work, but you can also use to play PC. And like
Yeah.
the real advantage of the Xbox and PlayStation and the Switch is that they have dedicated operating systems for gaming.
Right. That's all they
Basically,
do. They
fuck
do one
Windows.
thing, they do
Windows
one thing, they
sucks.
do it well, and they move on. That I'm a big fan of that. And so I'm still not a PC. I mean, I'm being forced to be a PC gamer because I don't there's nothing on my console I want to play, and all the stuff I want to play is on Valve and it's cheaper there. That being said, they didn't win me over. PC didn't win me over to be as a PC gamer. I won over PC to become a console.
Says, nah, that's just what the kids told their parents to get a computer in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's multi-platform. It can do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do homework on my computer. I won't just use it to play
Yeah, I want you
games.
to play games. Oh, I remember that one. I actually said that one. It didn't work. I didn't get a computer. I didn't own a computer until I was graduated from college. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, that was my first computer. Was college graduation in 1990. All right. Next
Okay.
item
Yeah,
is
I'll do this because sticking with a theme
okay.
of PlayStation,
Okay.
PlayStation has announced a state of play for June 2nd. And given their increase of PSN prices, increase of console prices, closure of Blue Point, and all this negative stuff, this had really better be a banger of a show
Hmm.
because they've had a lot of less negative headlines than Xbox, but I think the goodwill that PlayStation earned over the last several years of, not fucking things up the way Xbox did, uh, starting to lose it. They're starting to lose it, and they better come out with a bunch of, considering that they will now no longer put their PlayStation first party games on PC.
Hmm.
This needs to show a bunch of first party games that are worth buying a console for. They have specifically said that it will focus on Wolverine coming out later this year, but I suspect we'll also get a peek at the new God of War spinoff that they've been working on. And there was like another big game that they were supposed to be working on that I assume we would see. But Wolverine and God of War, I think, are my predictions. And interestingly enough, this is going to be, you can buy tickets for this state of play at the Alamo Draft House. So you could watch this state of play in a theater.
Really? When is that?
I believe it's Tuesday, June 2nd.
Hmm. What was this thing, this Bloomberg event that I sent you an invite to that
That was like
Asha's
that was like a tech, it's a tech conference.
it's an AI tech conference, and
Yeah.
Asha is actually going to be a guest speaker talking about AI,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a number of other different company heads that are going to be talking about AI. And I asked Nick if he wanted to go because it would be very interesting to hear Asha Sharma speaking live, but moreover, that she would be speaking to AI people about AI and the future of Xbox, as
A very,
opposed
very
to
friendly crowd.
right, speaking to gamers or speaking to gaming companies about the future of AI and Xbox. She really has not talked much, in fact, at all about the AI and the future of Xbox. And you know, and I know it's coming. There's stuff going on there, but she hasn't talked about it. And I would like to go. I want to go, and think that it would be fun to go with you so that we could both hear her kind of talking to her own people as opposed to talking to us, just so we can be flies on the wall and be able to go, all right, let's hear what she has to say when she's not putting it through the I'm talking to gamers filter.
Hmm. Yeah, it's something that's hopefully more expansive than a tweet.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be more expansive because she's going to talk in depth
Yeah.
as she's
So
going to
okay,
give a presentation.
she will be talking
And
on
she will be
June.
talking, and it's Bloomberg. So she's actually talking to a investment news
Yeah, so I guess it's not necessarily
thing.
about AI. It's the discussion agenda is called "Setting a New Direction at Xbox," and it's described
That's
as
hers. But
Asha.
the whole thing, the conference
It's
is
it's a
essentially AI.
it's a tech conference, but at this point, tech is AI. They're
Mhm.
indistinguishable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this says that Asha Sharma takes the helm at Microsoft Xbox at a pivotal, pivotal moment for the industry. She will discuss her vision for evolving the business, centering it on great games, the return of the Xbox console, and the future of play. And that will be June 4th at 2:30 p.m.
Mhm. So we
Which I
could go see the
believe.
state of play together at
Wait,
Alamo Draft House and then go what?
the 4th.
Is a week from Thursday.
Oh wait, was the state of play on the 4th?
You said the
No, that's
2nd.
20. That's 25. I'm seeing news stories. I thought something else was happening. Something was happening that Tuesday, and something was happening that Thursday.
Yeah.
June 4th, 2026. What shows are happening June 4th, 2026?
Anybody in the chat room? AC Wraith, you're really good at finding this kind of stuff.
I thought that was like Xbox's big thing. Is that Future Game Show? Okay, here we go. Every video game showcase to watch in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
State of Play June 2nd. Summer Game Fest is June 5th. Okay, I was one day off.
Okay. So we're looking at the
But yeah,
second
okay. So 2
Tuesday.
weeks
Yeah.
is E3.
Yeah. Right, because it's beginning of June. So Tuesday is this state of
The
play.
State of Play. That
When sorry,
Friday, the Thursday
Thursday,
the 4th, Asha is talking at the Bloomberg conference,
right, and Friday, June 5th,
is the start of Summer Game Fest.
right.
And then I believe as part of Summer Game Fest, Xbox will have their big thing June 5th after that. Wholesome Direct, Future Game Show, PC Gaming Show. Oh no, the Xbox Game Showcase is on June 7th.
So that's Sunday.
Yes.
Next Sunday. That's a week 2 weeks from Sunday.
At 10
Or
a.m.
2 weeks from
our
today.
time. So very early. We'll be able to talk about that.
Yeah.
They will show off Gears of War a lot during that showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
So
whole
yeah,
weekend. That whole weekend is just the first week of June. It's E3 week.
E3 week.
Jesus.
The
AC
reverberations are
Wraith,
real.
all 46 Summer Game Fest season live streams.
Oh my God.
That's too many. That's too many.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad I have that link because I want to see which ones are going so that I can watch them.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, big turning point for the industry. Sony needs to really justify selling a console, and this is kind of their big opportunity to do it.
mhm.
if Xbox will announce anything about Project Helix this year, this would be the time to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they will. I think it's man, I'd say yes, but given the state of manufacturing right now and the state of tech manufacturing specifically, I don't know that it would be responsible to do so.
Maybe. But I've always said, I said it about the PlayStation VR.
Mhm.
I will happily accept a company's financially irresponsible decision if it results in something cool for me personally.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mhm.
All right, my next item is let's talk about Warhorse and Embracer because this is kind of a big one.
Oh, yeah. I've also got Embracer news too,
Right.
so that's good.
Well, it happened at the same time. And we'll start with the good news that came out of this big announcement is that Warhorse Studios gave us a 1-2 punch this week. They announced that they are going to be working on an open world game that is going to be set in the Lord of the Rings universe, Middle Earth. They officially confirmed the news. It had been rumored, but now it's officially confirmed. They stated publicly that it's working on a Middle Earth RPG as well as a new Kingdom Come adventure. Now, I don't know if that's Kingdom Come Deliverance 3,
Probably not.
possibly, or something else related to it, something in the kingdom. Because at this point, the Kingdom Come Deliverance universe is established enough that it could have its own few stories within it.
Yes. Um, I'm okay if it's not Kingdom Come 3.
No, it could be a
I
spin-off.
look, make a small game. I didn't finish either of your games. I love them both, could not finish them. They're just huge. I have heard that KCD 2 has more of a proper ending than KCD 1 did. So it makes
Mhm.
sense that now that they've kind of told the story of Henry, that they would move on to kind of create something new with this Middle Earth game, sounds like. So that makes sense. But I'm glad that they're sticking with the KCD universe. And yeah, maybe make a bit of a smaller adventure set in that universe. I think that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And to give you an idea of how successful Subnautica 2 is, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was considered a wild success, and it sold 5 million units in its first year.
Hmm.
That makes Subnautica 2 pretty damn successful. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it did outperform internal expectations with those sales, even in the last quarter, and that was said by Embracer that it exceeded its expectations, even the early expectations, which they knew that they would have a lot of positive response because of the success of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1,
Hmm.
but it even exceeded that. So, Warhorse is going, and I love the fact that because Warhorse is in the Embracer world,
The embrace.
they're embraced. Well said. Uh, because they're in that scope, they do have access to Middle Earth. Now, Embracer has not done anything with the whole Middle Earth Lord of the Rings universe that it has the rights to. I'm glad that they have chosen to give it to Warhorse as opposed to, say, Crystal Dynamics. I
See,
don't know that Crystal Dynamics would have done the job. I feel very confident in Warhorse having its hands in that because of the nature of what Kingdom Deliverance was. It was way more in that realm as opposed to Embracer that was doing Tomb Raider and almost did Perfect Dark. Those are wildly divergent games from what they've worked on. Whereas Lord of the Rings kind of seems in the same flavor of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
it does, but I'm gonna say this: outside of the Peter Jackson trilogy, almost everything Lord of the Rings kind of sucks.
It does. It does.
Now, there've been a couple great games. Shadow of Middle Earth was obviously really great. The whole Nemesis system, uh, but so much of that IP feels like it's just coasting on the goodwill of that trilogy. And I really like Warhorse, and I think they make good games. But I don't know if you can make a good RPG set in Middle Earth. Like I think the Lord of the Rings IP might be a poison pill.
I don't want to say that there's such a thing as a cursed IP, but if there were a cursed IP, Lord of the Rings would be front and center for a number one candidate for it.
Yeah.
Because almost everything that it's done, short of, like you said, the Peter Jackson trilogy and, showing my age, the animated Hobbit series from the 70s, 80s. It was amazing. That is how I learned about Lord of the Ring, was the Hobbit,
Yeah.
the animated Hobbit, and it was fantastic. So after between those two, you're right, it is a cursed IP in many ways. But I think Warhorse is the kind of studio that if anybody was going to break the curse on a Lord of the Rings movie, it was Peter Jackson. If anyone was going to break the curse on a Lord of the Rings RPG video game, it's going to be Warhorse.
I'm curious what they'll do, and I want to see it. But this is not a. I'm not like, yeah, let's see Warhorse and Lord of the Rings. I'm more like iffy. AC
Mhm.
Wraith says he's gonna be sad if there's a Middle Earth game that comes out and it's in first person.
Yeah, I could see that.
He also said, I enjoyed the tabletop RPG Middle Earth back in the day and the Rollmaster companion books.
If those were at all well received, I would almost guarantee that Warhorse is the kind of studio that would actually be looking at that as a template to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So, now this is going to be the first ever proper Middle Earth RPG. We will not talk about the Lord of the Rings Online MMO because I don't consider that really an RPG. That was kind of an MMO, different thing.
Is that still?
Also,
Wait, there's a Lord of the Rings MMO?
yeah, I played it.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes. Did you not know this?
Lord of the Rings Online.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, that came out right when.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Amazon was working on a Lord of the Rings MMO, but then they canceled it. And so that's
Right.
why I was like, I was confused. But this came out. This came out when the movies did.
Yes. Actually, it was. Yeah, it was. Actually, I think before the
Oh, this was
movies.
2007, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, it was in the heyday of MMOs, when World of Warcraft came out and it started to take over everything. Few years after, World of Warcraft was huge, then Lord of the Rings Online launched. And that's why I played it, because a bunch of people that were in my guild on World of Warcraft went over and it's like, "Hey, give it a shot." And I tried it and I tried to get into it, but the problem is it was competing with World of Warcraft. And not only that, well after World of Warcraft had already sunk its teeth into the brain stems of way too many people, that it couldn't possibly take any steam out of those sales. But yeah, that was a thing. I think a really well conceived, a really interesting story. If they made Kingdom Comes Deliverance set in Middle Earth, that would be enough to make a good Middle Earth RPG. I think they will probably go more. I think you're right. Somebody needs to have a little sit down with Warhorse and say, "Look, can we not make your game so big? Can we not make your games 200 hours to complete? Can
Yeah.
we not have the opening tutorial area take 40 hours to complete? Because I never got past the opening tutorial areas because it takes 40 fucking hours to complete the opening
Yeah,
tutorial areas.
it's a misnomer to call the tutorial area. It's just the first area.
The first area, right.
Oh yeah, and Forget Your Life says, what about Shadow of Mordor that you raved about years ago? I said that
Yes.
is like one of the few really great games. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's the exception that proves the rule.
yeah. True.
Because that one is good.
That one was
And
very good.
and I will say, I have a soft spot for the hack and slash movie tie-in games. They're not great games, but they were good for their time.
Hmm.
And also, apparently, this Lord of the Rings MMO is like still supported. You can
Oh, yeah.
download it and play it now
Absolutely.
for free.
Yeah, it was.
It's
It
super
was
free
a.
to play.
Yeah, it is it was
Huh.
free to play. It is a small MMO. Obviously, not a lot of people play it, but it is definitely an MMO. It's still out there. The people that play it have been playing it for 20 years and still play it they have small guilds. I would imagine it's probably if you actually meet somebody in the game and get into a guild, it's probably really fun. It's probably a bunch of 40 or 50-year-old fuckers that are all just playing it.
Hey, you want to see how far games have come since 2007?
Mm-hmm.
Required hard disk space, 32 gigabytes for an entire MMO, and the suggested memory, 2 gig, 2 gigabytes of memory. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's right.
AC Rate says Shadow of Mordor is still my bar for AAA games that few reach.
Mm-hmm.
It really was cool.
It was a good game. It was a great game. I
Mhm.
absolutely did love that game. I don't know that I would call it necessarily an RPG.
No, it was an action RPG, and like there's
Yeah.
light RPG elements, but it's mostly an action game. It was just a really cool action game, and that Nemesis system was
Mhm.
goddamn it inspiring.
Yeah. So this is going to be kind of cool, and I'm very excited about that. Now, moving on to the second half of this story that Nick will bring up about Warhorse and Middle. Oh, whoops! I had a typo. It's not Midi Earth. It's Middle Earth.
Midi Earth is a very different IP.
Yeah, and I still spelled it wrong. All right, never mind. It's Middle Earth, and a
Midi
Kingdom
Earth is
Come
the name of
Deliverance
my chiptunes
adventure.
company.
I think that also when they called it a Kingdom Come Deliverance adventure, that they're talking about it felt more spin-offy.
Yes,
that
I
language.
assume that it would be smaller scope, and I assume Henry will not be the main character.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. Now, oh, it was my Steam Deck fell down off of the pillow behind me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
So, yeah, keep going on that.
Yes, yeah. So previously, after Embracer embraced a bunch of companies, failed to get the Saudi money, and laid off a whole bunch of people, they spun the company off into 3 groups. There was the Fellowship Entertainment, which was like the main parent company, Coffee Stain Group, which had a bunch of indie developers, and Asmodee Group, which was the tabletop and board game publisher. They have now further spun off, and that Fellowship Entertainment and Embracer Group will now be spun off into 2 different companies. So there will now be 4 instead of 3. So the companies remaining with Embracer are Aspire, Beamdog, Crazy Labs, Deca, Demiurge, some other ones, Limited Run Games. THQ Nordic is probably the biggest one there.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're taking a lot of their big guns, like 4A Games, who make Metro, Crystal Dynamics, Dark Horse, Eidos Montreal, Gunfire Games, Middle Earth Enterprises, and Warhorse. They're all getting grouped into Fellowship Entertainment. So it's further consolidating a lot of their mega players into Fellowship. But it's also worth noting that as part of all of this spin-off, because Embracer is a really poorly run company, they were saddled with a lot of debt. And
Mhm.
how does a poorly run company get rid of its debt? They don't pay it off. They spin off the company and they saddle the other guy with a bunch of debt. And so,
Yeah.
as part of all this restructuring, guess who got saddled with about $1 billion of debt? The
The
board
ones that
game company.
right, the company that had the least chance of being able to pay off that.
Yes.
And we had always said, when they did that original split, that they were going to sell off Asmodee, and I think they always wanted to sell off Asmodee, but they couldn't get any takers that came with a
Yeah,
price
because
that
no one wants a company with $1 billion in debt and little ways to pay that off.
well, now even more so. I mean, before they saddled it with all of the debt, they had all of them split out, and I thought that they would be selling, I called it marry, fuck, kill. And Asmodee was kill. They were going to sell that to somebody else, or let somebody else pick it up for the IPs and just essentially get rid of it. I think in the subsequent 2 or 3 years, 3
I
years.
think it's been like 2?
No, 3. It's been at least 3 because it happened before I met Chris, and
Okay.
yeah. So 3 years, maybe even 4 years ago, when they did that, I thought they were gonna be selling Asmodee. In those subsequent years, I don't think anyone came to the table with an offer that was good enough for them to let Asmodee go. So, rather than add something to Asmodee and to make it sweeter, I think that what they've decided to is they have saddled that with the debt, and they are going to now officially actually kill Asmodee. They're going to let Asmodee bankrupt. And yeah, this is how
Yeah.
you get rid of
Like,
debt.
yeah.
You put it on
Uh,
a ship, and you set the ship on fire.
Viking funeral. AC Wraith says that the Embracer chairman says cost control does not get enough respect after presiding over years of layoffs.
Yeah. Well, after spending like a drunken sailor on stuff that he shouldn't have spent like that for, yeah, now cost control is important.
Yeah,
Um,
cost control is important when the Saudis aren't bankrolling your buying spree.
yeah, and amazing when you don't have unlimited cash to just buy whatever you want all the time. All of a sudden, you've got a budget.
Yeah.
Um,
And of course,
so
he
so
said that hey,
I'm
part of this
this.
spin-off is about we can better uh embrace all of these IP, blah blah blah. Selling it has a thing. AC Wraith says that's the title of the article, not my words. It's a good title.
It is a good title.
That's from
I
gamedeveloper.com.
I think that all right, the gamer in me thinks this is awful. The moralistic human in me thinks this just absolutely sucks, and this embodies everything that is wrong with the way businesses are run and finance in this world right now. Now, the business side person of me says this is really about the only thing that they can do is to do exactly this, because if they can get rid of that debt, there is a chance that they will be able to salvage all of the other studios that are staying and help them survive. I don't want to see Crystal Dynamics go under.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to see Warhorse. God, I don't want to see Warhorse go under.
Warhorse is
I
fine.
don't.
I think Warhorse is fine. They're in Poland. They're cheap. Crystal Dynamics, American set developer. Uh, I I would worry for them.
Coffee Stain Studios. Well, I think that they'll all be fine. They'll be if Embracer goes under and they all get sold off, they'll go somewhere. But I want Warhorse to stay in the environment, because Warhorse isn't just Warhorse this company. Warhorse survives and is doing well because of the environment in which it exists. And that is Embracer leaving it the fuck alone and letting it make shit. Now, not all parent companies do that. as we will know. It would hurt me to my core if what if they went out of business, say Embracer went under and Warhorse was purchased by Grafton,
What's Grafton?
the ones that own Subnautica.
Oh, Crafton.
Crafton, I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I would hate that even. God, talk about like
Yeah.
out of the frying pan into the
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Warhorse is not just the company, it is also the environment in which they are producing, which to Embracer's credit, what they do is they just let them fucking make games and doesn't get involved with shit, doesn't put their fingers in it and doesn't like push them around. They just let them make games. Now, did that work for Crystal Dynamics? No, because Crystal Dynamics needed somebody at the helm with a good vision of what they were making so that they could make decisions and finally get Perfect Dark out the door. Warhorse doesn't have that problem. And the worst thing that you could possibly do is put that under a company that wanted to mess with them, like Ubisoft. Oh, God. Can you imagine if Warhorse was under Ubisoft?
Oh, I've got Ubisoft news too.
Yeah. So I'm happy that if this move, as awful as it is, cutting off this leg and putting all these people out of business because they had made such horrible bad decisions. Do I condemn them for the horrible bad decisions they made before? Yes, but there's nothing we can do to change the past. We can only deal with what's happening in the future. If this helps companies like Warhorse and Crystal Dynamics in the future to be successful, to make better games, to, in Crystal's case, actually make a game, I support this decision.
I just don't think Embracer is well run of a company, and I
Oh,
still
no.
kind of worry for all of these developers under Embracer. The embrace is a threat, not a compliment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But, there are far worse companies to be under, that's for sure. So,
Speaking of,
far worse companies to be under?
yeah,
All right.
Ubisoft shared their financials, which includes a year-over-year decline of about 21% in revenues. And they have said that basically this will continue throughout 2027, or at least the 2027 fiscal year. Sorry, I think I closed this tab, unfortunately. But yeah,
So
basically,
not only did they drop 21% from last year to this year, they said that this trend is going to continue for the next 2 years.
yes.
Well, actually, it'd be 1 year from 2026 to 2027.
This year is expected to represent a low point in our free cash flow trajectory, along with a softer release slate and restructuring costs. As we move into the 26-27 financial year, a strong rebound is expected, with positive cash flow in fiscal year 27-28 and robust FCF for fiscal year 28-29.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, don't
FCF?
expect anything for like the next year or so.
Free cash flow.
Oh, free cash flow. Okay. Yeah. Things have been tough for Ubisoft. Things will continue to be tough for Ubisoft.
Now, let's break that down a little bit. They said due to what was it, and restructuring costs?
Yes. Low point in our free cash flow trajectory, a softer release slate, and restructuring costs.
Okay.
So, as part of the restructuring, they are just putting out fewer games because all AAA developers are putting out fewer games.
No, that's that first one. That's
softer release slate.
Softer release slate and restructuring costs.
Yes,
I'm wondering
and
what kind of restructuring they're talking about.
Well, that's remember Ubisoft split itself. They
Right.
pulled an Embracer.
Right.
And
right.
they unembraced a lot of their company.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So And when they say softer release
That's
slate,
just fewer games. They're
well, it's
releasing
not
fewer
just
games.
fewer games, but their games that they are releasing are not as successful.
A little bit. I know that Assassin's Creed Shadows did really well, and that came out earlier this year.
Mhm.
But Assassin's Creed Hexe, which is the next big Assassin's Creed game on the slate, I believe is scheduled for next year, not this year. So not having a big Assassin's Creed game is slowing them down. They don't have a big Far Cry game. They're working on Far Cry 7, but that's not going to come out this year. We know that they're working on Division 3, but I don't think that's coming out this year. So basically, they put out Shadows in February, and I think that was maybe the big game for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Ubisoft games in
I
2026.
can't think of anything else. Didn't they put out
Oh,
Division 3?
Black Flag remake.
Right,
They've
and the
got the
Black
Black
Flag.
Flag remake
Right.
coming out in July, but yeah, that's the big ones. Oh, I guess. Wait, according to Gemini, Hexe is supposed to come out this year. No,
Really?
it's not. That's not fucking happening.
What is the release date on Hexe? Go chat room.
Ubisoft 2026-27 lineup.
Oh, okay, you've got it.
WCCF Tech. Year ago jobs. Beyond Good and Evil 2. People need to stop mentioning Beyond Good and Evil 2. That game does not exist.
Yes, it does. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's a thing. It will happen. I am only staying alive in this world so I can see that. It is my one wish. The day that that game releases, I will probably pass away the next day, just simply because
Okay,
that and spite are the two things that are and obviously, cherry Diet Coke are the three things in this world that are keeping me going. That's my fuel.
yeah, Hexe is 27. Hexe is not 26. 27 was wait, when did Assassin's Creed Shadows come out?
That came out in 2025.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't this year. That was
Mm-mm.
that was oh my god, that was last March.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting here thinking that it was this February.
Mm-mm.
No, that game's a year old.
It's a year old.
Yeah. So yeah, they
Yeah,
have no big Far Cry
2025.
game, no big Assassin's Creed game, no big Tom
They
Clancy
have
game.
no big game at all, really. The only big game, the quote unquote big game is Black Flag Remake. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
call that a very big game, although it could be, considering that it's not going to be as big as it would have been had they done it before Windrose came out.
Yeah. Also, it would probably have been bigger if they released it like not 20 years after Black Flag.
Yeah. But
So yeah, point is, it's a tough time. Tough
Mhm.
time for Ubisoft.
Tough time for Ubisoft, but they seem to be on it. Hopefully they will stop listening to their tech bros, and because that's where they've gotten themselves into this cash shortfall and running on their reserves. By the way, when you see cash flow going away and reserves, they're burning through what their savings, so to speak.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That basically this year is them burning through their savings.
They're burning through their savings.
Hmm.
Now, they apparently had some savings in the bank, but I think that we should gird our loins for some more layoffs or studio closures. Because you can't, I mean, that's a lot of money to be short. Losing, you're taking a 25% hit. Well, 20% hit on your income. So you got to make that 20% up somewhere else. And that is coming out of your savings. And I don't know that depending on what their reserves are like. I mean, I've never looked at their statement, shareholder statement, but I don't think they had a lot in the bank to start off with, because it's not like they had a bunch of great years and then this happened.
I don't know their savings, but from GameIndustry.biz, for the full year ending March 31st, 2026, their revenue was 1.4 billion, which is down 21.8% year over year. Their net bookings was 1.5 billion, which is down 17.4% year on year. Digital net bookings, which I believe net bookings are basically sales. Digital net bookings were 1.33 billion, down 16%. Back catalog net bookings 1.28 billion, down 1% year over year. So everything is down across the board.
Yeah, so basically, and they're having to make up the shortfall. Whenever people start, and this is true for individuals, it's true for companies. When you start having to dip into your savings to cover the bills, the first thing you do is you start cutting back on the creature comforts. You start canceling things, canceling subscriptions, canceling this, canceling that, getting rid of this, selling that. You're going to start seeing that from Ubisoft this year, which sucks, but expect to see layoffs. Also, if you're going to lay off people right now God, sometimes I hear myself and I realize how evil I sound. This is a great time to be cutting people. Hold on a second.
This is a great time to be cutting people.
To be firing people because there are so many other firings that are going on.
Oh, yeah.
That it's going to it's going to get kind of lost in all of the other stories. Like when Meta announces that it's going to lay off 12,000 people, when that actually does happen, that's the day that you want to be firing 4,000 people from your own video game company, because it's not going to make that much news compared to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's
Bungie. Take notes.
Yeah, Bungie take notes. I mean, I'm sure they know this. They don't need to know. They're going to do it on a high news cycle day, and right now is a good time because there's already been enough future layoffs being announced for Alphabet, for Meta, for even ChatGPT. OpenAI has mentioned layoffs. There's a lot of layoffs about to happen, more than what we were looking at. And so this is that time when you want to be laying stuff off so that you get lost in the news cycle. And Chris is about to show up.
Oh.
I mean, he has to just pick up a key so he can take the girl child and her friend want to go swimming.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now I have to find where the fob is. Where's the fob? Okay.
Oh, that's right. The fob that you went back for.
Yeah, that's the thing right there that got me late.
Okay.
So, my next item is a company that has absolutely no problem with cash flow and is going to have a great 2026. Uh-oh, that was the door. Stand by.
Okay.
If you have something to talk about, talk about it.
Okay. Should I talk about? No, I'm gonna save that story for later.
Just entertain the masses, Nick. I had to do that. I saw that. Oh, they came again, bastards.
No, I'll talk about there's a rumor, according to, or at least Edie, mute your mic. Mute your mic, Edie.
Okay.
We can.
Sorry. Hold on a second. Let me mute my.
Okay. There's a rumor that Asus will reveal their next-gen handheld at Computex in June. This is according to a German handheld YouTube channel called Steam Dad. And this is just a leak and rumor from the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. So, take this with a grain of salt. But this German YouTuber specifically told viewers, keep an eye on Computex if you want to see a next-gen handheld from Asus. And so, hey, Asus does the Rogue Ally, so that will be interesting to see. Are they going to try to launch another, like an upgraded Rogue Ally in this era? Like Xbox tried to do that, and I don't know how that didn't really seem to take off. But the Rogue Ally, it has been a couple years since I think Rogue Ally X came out, so kind of on schedule for a refresh.
Well, the Xbox Rogue Ally X came out last week.
But that was just a rebranded Rogue Ally X. There wasn't
True.
really. There was like a little bit better hardware, but not a lot.
Mhm.
So yeah, check out in June. Okay, fucking June. It's the
Yeah.
E3 month, so
June is, it was, is, and always will be the big announce month.
yeah. So 2 weeks and the industry will never be the same.
It never is.
No.
The industry in May is not the same industry as it is in July.
Mm-mm.
Now, thing I was going to talk about, companies that have no problem with cash flow and are going to have a bang in 2026. Rockstar has confirmed it absolutely is not going to be, the GTA 6 is not going to be delayed. It is absolutely, positively, without doubt, going to release November 19th. This was the date they always said they were, but it,
I mean, I think it was delayed twice before.
it's already been delayed twice. Right. And late enough, like close enough to the date that it still was in quote unquote the danger zone of they might not make it and it might not release, but it's 100% confirmed that it is going to release on that date. So they did announce, it was a few months ago that they announced the date of November 19th, 2026. Polygon has reported that the game is not being delayed. Quote, our fiscal 2026 performance was exceptional and exceeded our initial expectations at every label. This is according to Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two. And this was during their earnings call. We believe fiscal 2027 will establish a new record levels of operating performance driven by the November 19th launch of Grand Theft Auto 6, along with strong execution across our portfolio. So yeah, this is what he said in their earnings call. I did not. I wanted to attend the earnings call, but I forgot about it and didn't call in. But Strauss also ended up saying, we expect to sustain this higher level of scale, generating strong cash flows and deliver long-term shareholder value as we release our robust development pipeline. Continue to optimize our live services and capitalize on new business opportunities. So everything is peachy in Take-Two land. And part of that peachiness is going to be Grand Theft Auto on November 19th. And I am all there for it. I'm 100% there for it.
Yeah, Rick Review said GTA 6 is going to crash so hard on day one, it's not even going to be funny.
Don't you remember how bad crashing was in GTA 5? It was awful. Like
no, but do you think it's not going to sell well? Is
no,
that
I
what he
think
means
he's
by
talking about
crash?
the games crashing. Like you aren't going to be able to log in. Any online component is going to be unplayable for the first month. We all know that.
That assumes that the online mode launches on November 19th.
True.
I think the game comes out single player. I think the online mode launches later.
I can't remember.
Maybe just
Did
a month
that
or two
happen?
later. Yeah,
Did
that's
that
what
happen with
GTA
that's what
5
GTA
did.
5 did? Yeah, and I remember that the online mode came in and that thing was unplayable.
Oh,
You couldn't. Oh,
honestly, it's a miracle that GTA 5 turned into the cash cow that it is. GTA 5 Online turned into the cash cow that it is because it started so hard, so rough.
it was so bad.
Oh yeah, he says it's gonna sell like crazy.
Oh, it's gonna sell like crazy. Yeah, it's gonna sell like crazy. And full disclosure, I have quite a bit of Take-Two stock that I bought much earlier this year because it's gonna be big.
Yeah, it was a
it was a clusterfuck, and I remember trying to play that with Hawks, and it was like you just couldn't. Was it you? I think it was actually take it back. Well, I don't think it was Hawks. I think it was you that I was trying to get in to play with, and it couldn't play it.
Yeah, because you had to like play through a 20-minute tutorial before you could get to the online, but like the tutorial kept crashing.
Right, and then if you were lucky enough to get through the tutorial, you couldn't even get into the actual online game. You would just sit there and oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
It
fine.
says they're not known for great PC performance, so crashing without online seems plausible too.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a rough start and nobody's gonna be surprised and everybody's going to wait as long as it takes for it to get right.
It will be interesting because Like, this is the age of digital distribution. Remember, GTA 5 launched on the Xbox fucking 360.
Mm-hmm.
That's when discs was still a big deal.
Yeah.
This is the first GTA that's like in our digital era. I will be able to pre-order this game, pre-install it on the console, and then be able to just boot it up at midnight. Like, I don't have to wait in any line or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to be a very, very interesting late November, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And it's it's nice to know that it's not going to get delayed again, because I think that would be horrible, not just for me as a shareholder, but also horrible for me as a gamer, that I've got that date on my calendar for a reason. This is going to be big. This is huge.
Yeah. And like, I haven't seen enough of it to actually get excited. And I like Red Dead Redemption 2 less than a lot of other people do. But I still want to play this game. I think I like Red Dead Redemption 2 less than a lot of other people, but I like GTA 5 more than a lot of other people. So even if I'm not like, oh, I'm so excited to play this, I still want to play it. Like,
Mhm.
I'm curious enough about it's just the mythology around it. I
Yeah,
want to see
yeah.
what it's like.
I want to see the next story in this universe, because talk about
Yeah.
universe building. This is a universe that has been built, started to be built in 3 and continued on in Vice City, even though they've changed cities, they've changed coasts, they've created and actually I'm kind of interested to know where it's located, because the last 2 have been on the West Coast. It originally
I
started as an East
believe.
Coast game.
Yeah, I know they've said the city. I think it's it's fictional Miami.
Mm. That makes sense, because Vice City was a fictional Miami, so they're kind of
Yeah.
going back to that.
Um
I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
I know.
just it's gonna be it's there are few companies that I can look at and know
Oops.
that a game is going to be, "Hey, bartender,
Oh,
say."
hello.
There's very few companies that I can look at and point and go, "That's no matter what they do on this, it's gonna be good." Take-Two, Rockstar, this game, it's gonna be good. The question is degrees of good.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be Grand Theft Auto 3 Nico Bellic good, which was an absolute storytelling tour de force? Or is it gonna be Grand Theft Auto 5, which honestly, the story wasn't that
I
great. The story wasn't that great. It
see
really wasn't.
I
It was a
like
fun game.
5.
Oh,
I
really?
think I think the story of 5 is more relevant now than it was back then, because it was all about how this guy who looks like he's got a lot of money, this poor black gangbanger, and not a gangbanger, just this poor black guy, and then this like white trash guy, how they're all basically poor.
Mhm.
Even the guy who looks like he's rich is just saddled with so much debt that these 3 classes of Americans come together to basically try to not be poor.
Mhm.
And like, a little bit of spoiler, in the end, one of the endings, all these different classes of Americans join up to fuck over the man
To
and
fuck over the man. Right.
basically murder the government.
Right. That
And it
they're
was like,
all
oh,
equally morally bereft of any
no,
standards
not
whatsoever. That
no, no, the opposite. That these 3 guys basically joined together to fuck over and murder like a corporate stooge. And it was like, oh my God, is GTA
yeah.
5 like advocating for the proletariat rebellion? It
Eat the
kind
rich?
of, it, yes,
Yeah.
like literally, yes, it is. And
Wouldn't
I
it be
think most
interesting if
people,
it does that? If
most
GTA 6 does that?
Yeah, most people didn't finish GTA 5, so they don't realize that, like, no, GTA 5 was full on eat the rich.
Well,
Um,
we'll see.
but yeah, Rick Review says 4 is my favorite. 4 is really good. Nico was GTA 4. I know
Oh,
because I
GTA
hated
4.
it.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Nico's GTA 4. I hated it and left for Saints Row.
Oh. Yeah,
Um,
I
he said
loved 4.
gonna be Yellowstone. Get that midlife crisis crowd who watches the horrible show. And 360 era games going up in price as the retro community age reaches that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Bartender asked, will GTA 6 be digital only? I don't think so.
I
But
don't think so.
now that you've asked that question,
The question is, why would they make it a physical copy? There's no reason to make it physical.
well, because all games have digital all games have physical copies.
Do all games have physical copies? All AAA
Okay,
games have physical copies.
Take-Two CEO kills GTA 6 digital only rumor.
Okay, so it is gonna
Grand
have.
Theft Auto ships with physical disc November 19th. Strasnelnik confirms. Okay, yes. I guess he told CNBC on May 21st that GTA 6 will ship with big physical component at launch alongside the digital release.
Good. Good.
Yes.
I haven't have we seen if
Oh yeah,
there's any.
collector's editions is why.
Right, right, and I'm wondering if what I haven't heard anything about a collector's edition.
It comes with a handgun.
You know, if they launched with one of those handgun cigarette lighters, that would be I'd have a hard time not wanting to get one of those.
Oh, what was the game? I think it was a Mafia game. They shipped out press copies that came with brass knuckles, and like California law got involved because like they were shipping a weapon, so they kind of had to say, "Oh, could you send those back?
Yeah.
Could you don't keep
Well,
those, please?"
and I think it is I wanna say it was Shawnikin that I sent it to as a thank you for buying me the Pip-Boy edition of,
Fallout.
Fallout. As a thank you, I reached into my bag of swag and I sent him something that was given to press for GTA 5. GTA 4? GTA 4? No, it was a GTA 4 press conference thing that they could never sell those days. It was a gold-plated, and it was really a gold-plated Coke spoon. Grand Theft Auto 4 Coke spoon that they handed out to press. And I
That
love that thing, but I thought, I wanna give him something that is not just
I
like,
love
"Here's a
that thing. I got
thanks
so
for
much
that.
use out of that.
Here's a" yeah, I really did. No, I didn't. But, I wanted to send him something nicer than a T-shirt for
Yeah.
getting me a Pip-Boy and sending it to me. That was really, really nice. So I decided to give him the gold-plated Coke spoon. And I'm sort of sorry I did because I would really love to have that gold-plated Coke spoon because
Yeah, that's definitely a collector's item.
it's a collector's item on a lot of levels. 1, GTA 4, 2, gold-plated, 3, you could never, never hand out Coke
No,
spoons.
that is such a relic of the mid-aughts. Like it's the
Yeah.
2007 time when I think
Back in the
GTA
day
4
when we
came
thought,
out.
people taking cocaine was funny because nobody did it. Kinda like back in the old day when Nazis were funny because nobody did it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about sweet summer children.
Yep.
All right.
Well, let's see. I got one more pretty fun story.
Okay.
Speaking of like Nazi
Quick and
adjacent.
fun because, we have somebody here that's waiting for me. That's like,
Okay, okay. We'll have him tap his watch for like the next 5 minutes. Um, so on May 12th, the
uh-huh.
developer Fizzy Bear released a game called Plantation Simulator on Steam.
Mhm.
This game,
Oh, I
it's
heard about
it's
this.
exactly what it sounds like. You're a plantation owner with a number of black slaves. That was it.
I
It
kinda wanna
wait.
look at it to bring it up on YouTube, but I kinda don't.
There's a journey. Come on this journey with me.
Okay.
Um, so that's the game. The description said, in this game, you will be whipping black people to keep your farm productive. If you whip your black person too much, they will die. That seems really messed up. For the first 10 days or so, around May 20th, it had an update, the 1.2 update. And afterwards, that's when a lot of people started reviewing it. Because with the 1.2 update, it changed all the black slave characters to white people. And it changed the whipping animation into a string of hearts, put bikinis on all the slave characters, and updated the description to, in this game, your friends wear bikinis and you can give them little kisses.
Oh, Jesus.
So, as part of that, a lot of the reviews came in. There were a ton of negative reviews of like, what's going on? This is bullshit. This is terrible. Which is like really, really tattling on yourself if you're complaining that this game went from a plantation simulator to a hug your friends and give them kisses simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and apparently Fizzy Bear
Mhm.
basically calls himself on X creator of the worst games known to humanity. When they had the second update, they wrote, "Hi gamers, we've listened and we heard you. We fixed all the issues you've been wanting. We added little hearts and little kisses for your friends as you become the best new age plantation owner ever. Good luck and keep playing. Uwu." Like literally UWU. So it's clear that this whole thing is basically one giant troll. They also announced that the studio is closing and they're laying off 200 employees. So it's a whole. Also, one of the previous game was Crucifier. Build has the world's most Christian racing game ever developed, where you play as a Roman soldier beating slaves carrying crucifixes. So
Man,
it's
that is a bold troll. That is
it's
a
a
very
bold
bold troll.
troll. There's a lot to unpack there. It started off kind of bad. I feel like I'm kind of okay with where it ended. But this does all bring into question, like, where the fuck was Valve during all
Mhm.
of this?
Mhm.
Because remember, a year ago, an indie award-winning game called Horses was banned from Steam, and that was a game that like kind of actually dug into the uncomfortableness of slave owning. But like it
Mhm.
was a horror game, like a kind of walking simulator horror game. That's like, no, we want you to confront these topics, and it was banned from Steam. But Plantation Simulator, whether it be actually whipping slaves or it be kissing your friends in bikinis, Val was like, yeah, no, we're cool with that.
Yeah.
So there's a
It does
lot to unpack.
it does point out the hypocrisy of Valve in that way that, well,
Yeah. Rick Review says you probably shouldn't even give stuff like this the time of day. I
yeah.
wouldn't have if it was just Plantation Simulator, but it's the fact that it changed completely and got a bunch of negative reviews for changing completely, which says a lot about who was buying the game initially. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, the fact like the Kotaku headline, the worst people imaginable freak out over racist plantation game. Like
Right, because it
if you
wasn't
want
they
to
changed they took the racism
if
out.
you want to troll the racists, I'm all for trolling the racists.
Mhm.
But it again, on a serious note, it does call like, what is Valve doing? What are their moderation policies?
Right. Right. Yeah, if you wanna see if your friend is a racist motherfucker, go take a look at all of the names on the reviews. You will
Yes.
find all the racist motherfuckers on Steam.
Who left a
Their
negative
names.
review for Plantation Simulator?
Yeah.
And then Andrew says, "Hey guys, I got a great bit for the next episode title. Great GameHounds 820 Groundhog Day."
Smarty pants. Where were you, Chaos? You could have been in on the show, but now the show is over.
He was playing Plantation Simulator.
No, he wasn't. Stop that. So, how many, you have anything else?
That was it.
Okay.
Ending on a high?
Yeah,
No,
I
low
wouldn't
note.
call
Not
that
a,
high. But
and hey,
what
we're
are
not ending with layoffs. That's important.
that's right. But what are we well, I mean, AC Wraith. We could get AI Wraith. Remember, his days are numbered. The what games are going to be playing next week?
Now that I finished Sorrows, I can finally get back into Crimson Desert. There have been a lot of patches for that game,
Mhm.
so there's a lot that I like need to catch up on. And then I played a couple indie games too that I'll talk about next week.
Mhm.
And yeah, mostly Crimson Desert is what I'm most looking forward to.
Okay. I think I am going to pick up Mini Shoot.
He says, yeah, I just heard about that. Really upset they ruined my favorite game there.
Oh, don't even. I'm gonna pick up. I think I'm gonna pick up Mini Shoot Adventures on your recommendation.
Okay, cool.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of made for the Steam Deck, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
the downside of playing Windrose on the Steam Deck is that you really, if you've got 10 minutes, this is not the game that you need to pick up because you can't do anything in 10 minutes. And, you could start something, but you can't finish anything in 10 minutes. Whereas Mini Shoot Adventures obviously seems like something that I could play for a little bit,
Oh,
hit
yeah.
pause and save and leave and come back later.
Yeah. And AC Ray says he's going to try to finish Control.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Control's a great game.
Yeah, what are you all
Dig
playing?
into it.
Rick, um, Forget Your Life, Chaos. What are you guys going to be playing this week?
Yeah.
Oh, let's take off the banner. Um,
Oh, yeah.
I'm hopefully going to be playing that, although this week is going to be very challenging for me because this next weekend is the big sale of all the auction stuff. That being said,
Oh, okay.
I'm not even, in fact, I've been told we're not allowed anywhere near the building.
Oh,
You're not allowed to go anywhere near the building where they're having an auction of your stuff
that makes
because
sense.
they don't want you going in there and messing up deals.
Yeah.
If they want to sell something, they don't want you going over going, I don't know, is that enough? No,
Yeah.
they
Did
don't
you?
want us there, and I'm not going to be there.
Um,
But I will
I
give
will
you
see. Oh,
some advance notice. I will not be, we will be dark for a couple of weeks in July, in late July.
oh, okay, okay.
We are going to be dark. I know this is a long time from now, but this is going to be a couple of weeks off. We are going to be dark on the 20. Oh, really? Only 1 week, actually.
Oh.
Only 1 week. The 22nd of July. We're going to be off.
22nd of July is a Wednesday.
Oh, I'm looking at August. My bad. I got one. We are going to be off. I'm sorry. We're going to be off 2 weeks. We're going to be off the 29th. Sorry. The
Wait, of
19th.
July?
Sorry, July. 19th and 26th.
Okay, those dates line up.
Yeah, 19th and 26th, we're going to be off because I am going to be going to, hey, in case you're in the New York City area, I'm going to be in New York and I'm going to be in Philadelphia.
Cool.
We are doing a whirlwind tour of food meccas of the East Coast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Going to New York for some pizza and then heading over to Philadelphia for some cheesesteaks and then coming back to New York for some cheesecake.
How interested are you in like some
Huh?
fancy food?
Oh, and pastrami. Pastrami.
How interested are you in like some fancy food that's like really fucking good?
Really fucking good fancy food? Depends. What
Yeah.
kind of fancy food?
When I was in New York a couple years ago with Rachel for the first time, we went to a restaurant called Q,
Mhm.
KYU.
Mhm.
Oh, it was fucking delicious. They
Really?
had like crispy sushi, or like it was like a little sushi thing, but it was on crispy rice. It was delicious. They had a it's not cabbage. What's the thing? It's not Brussels sprouts, but it's like a big head of
Cauliflower?
cauliflower.
Okay.
They had like a cauliflower thing in a sauce that was insane. You wouldn't think cauliflower, of all things, is like, this is a standout menu item, but it fucking is.
Well,
They also had like a bunch of good fried chicken. We got the sampler. So like, they brought out, here's 10 different courses. Way too much food. It was so much food. It was all good though. So yeah, check out Q if you want.
all right. I will possible. We might be able to try that.
Yeah. It's like a high-end fancy place. And
Yeah,
like,
remember we're traveling with a 50. Well, actually at that point she will be a 15-year-old.
Oh, happy birthday to her.
Yeah, she's in
but that's also why I brought it up, because it's like Asian fusion fancy. So it's
she might actually be open to that.
Yeah. If you like rice and chicken and like if you like Asian food.
By the way, holy crap. The prices of airfare right now are
Oh.
insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
I
just
know.
came back from Florida.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I ended up using, and I was always told you that I banked miles because that was going to be my retirement, that I was going to just bank all these miles and use it when my retirement.
Yeah.
Uh, it was almost half of the
Of
almost
what you had
half a million
saved?
of what I've saved. It
Holy shit.
was 255,000 miles. Yeah, and
Your free cash, free mile flow is low.
yeah, it's expensive. It's insanely expensive. So I'm going to be watching to see,
Yeah.
because if this Strait of Hormuz things resolves itself and airfares get lower, I'm going to go back to them and go, I want my give me some of my points back, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, AC says we lost the budget
Oh
air
yeah,
option.
plus $500 on top of the 255,000.
Oh, the miles didn't cover all of it. You had to
Right,
pay.
right, right. You have to still have to pay what they call a fuel surcharge. So the fuel surcharge on it was $255.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was $500. So yeah, I mean, there's a
Take
part
a
of me
red
that's
eye.
like,
Red eyes at least are a little bit cheaper.
there's no way I am traveling with a 15-year-old on a red eye. Fuck no, there's not enough miles in this world to make me do that. And really, honestly, the red eyes weren't that much less expensive.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
actually, in about 2 months, you will definitely need a good Steam Deck game
Oh, to be over there?
to play on the plane, to
Oh, to
do
play on the
something on the
plane?
plane ride.
Absolutely, and we're gonna be driving from New York to Philadelphia.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I'm gonna be in the passenger seat, and, yeah, I'm gonna need a Steam Deck game at that
Okay,
point
so
as well.
chat, we need to get a library of Steam Deck
Hmm?
games for Edie.
I've been told I'm driving.
We need to get a library of Steam Deck games for Chris.
You need to get a light, right,
Chris and the girl child.
Chris and the girl child need a bunch of Steam Deck games that can be played, especially if we can play them offline, because we're gonna be traveling in a car.
Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. Okay,
Oh, wait,
somebody
yeah, didn't you
recommended
get
Vampire
that?
Survivors. Me? I think I do have Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, because you were really into a Horde.
Mhm.
Be My Horde.
Be My Horde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do Vampire Survivors. All right.
Yes.
So, I don't know what I'm going to be playing this next week. It's probably going to be the mini shoot adventures, but might be something else. Who knows? I might just. It's going to be really challenging to fit a bunch of stuff in.
Andrew, you got to come on the show and give all these recommendations. He's just spitting them out at the last second.
Hades 1 and then Hades 2. It's only a few days. It's only 7 days, guys. It's not going to be enough for me to finish 2 episodes of the Hades series. I guess that's it. We're kind of done with the show.
Yeah.
We will, I guess, talk to you next week. Shall we close out the show?
Yeah.
All right, let's close this out.
Has Chaos recommends
What?
stuff.
What?
Has Chaos drops recommends in the chat.
Okay. Well, you just keep doing it, Nick. You stop reading it. Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 820. We recorded this on May 24th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. If you ever want to get a hold of us, gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The Gamehounds. On YouTube, we are Gamehounds Vids. VIDS is in videos, all one word, Gamehounds Vids. We would love to have you join us live at any of those places. And if you are watching currently at any of those places, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, but certainly, especially if you're on YouTube or Facebook, thumbs up right now. Go there right now. Thumbs up. It's very, very important to us. Now, if you are watching or listening to us as a live podcast, because yes, we are available as a podcast you can listen to in the car, on your headset, wherever. That is going to be on Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or pretty much anywhere that you can find a podcast. Please leave us some feedback. We would love to have you do that because it makes such a difference with the algorithm, especially with so many people that are GameHounds fans from the past who don't know that we're back doing that podcast. So help them out. Find us again by leaving us some feedback. Also, if you are listening to us as a podcast, we would love to have you join us on a Sunday sometime. So join us next Sunday, noon Pacific, about 3 p.m. Eastern, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Now, if you're a listener currently, never heard us before, welcome. If you are a longtime listener, can I ask a favor? Can you help support us? Patreon.com/GameHounds. $1 a month is all we ask. It really, really makes a difference for us. Just that $12 a year to help us offset some of the costs of this. This is super important for me this year in particular, just because costs are going up for everything, including all the different services and the different stuff that we have to be subscribed to in order to make this podcast work.
Ongoing market conditions.
Right. Patreon.com/GameHounds. Nick, thank you so much for being on the show. If you're listening now or after the fact, join our Discord. You can find the Discord information multiple places, certainly in the description. And if you're on the phone, hype us if you can. Please hype us.
Smash
Nick,
that like button.
Smash it. Thanks, Nick. We'll see you next week. Thanks, AC Ray, for
Bye.
being our link bitch. Bye. All right, show's out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks, Nick. Forgot what Chris wants to say something. What?
Yes.
No, he doesn't want to say. He thinks we're off the air. No, we're still going.
The
The turkeys
we're gonna
will
be going
miss.
for another hour. That's fine.
The turkeys will not miss their mommy because
Yes,
they
that's
don't
why
have
you're
a
not
mommy
allowed in the
anymore.
auction.
The mommy gave them up. They now only have a daddy. That's my
Subscribe,
brother.
bye, wave.
All right, bye everyone. See you later, Chaos and Nick. If we want to do that Asha Sharma thing next week, I would be completely down
can't
for
do
that.
it. I couldn't stand that.
Really, you would just sit with me and listen to her like being a spy. You're just being a spy.
Yeah, but,
and
like, then you have
reporting
to-
back on all the bullshit she says.
Then you gotta go for the rest of the conference.
You don't have to go for the
And
rest
also,
of
I
it.
assume someone else is gonna do that. They'll write it up.
Yeah, but I want to hear her say something in person and because you know that a lot of times they say stuff that doesn't cut out.
Deadbeat.
Deadbeat. All right, or maybe we can go see the state of play at Alamo Draft House.
Said I would listen to it.
All right. I'm not gonna live stream it. Come on, I'm not gonna get arrested. But I might go and just to hear the things that she says, because it would be very interesting to hear her talk to industry and tech and investor professionals versus stuff that goes through the I'm talking to gamers filter. I want to hear
Yeah.
what she says to the other side of the room that aren't us. As you know, she's saying different stuff in different places. They all do. I want to know what
Oh,
she's
yeah.
saying over there versus what she's saying to us. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
See you next week.
Bye.